All right, in 5 minutes, another one. This one's about a topic that I wrote and blog on, maybe about a year or so ago, about hardly working or working hard or hardly working. Now, I've noticed there's been this trend here in maybe the last 10 years where training methods are kind of the same. Everybody calls it different, names it different, but it's kind of the same almost once you look at it. Here's an example, and this is if anything else I say in the next 4 minutes doesn't make sense to you. Go to Powerlifting Watch, look at the world equipped records. Look at them. Look at the years they were broken. I'm pretty sure you'll see there's a lot of them that's been recent, all the way back to maybe as far as maybe 2000. Now, go to the world raw records. You'll see a night and day difference. Now, you may see a few instances where there are some that were broken within recently, like Brantley Thornton, who just totaled 1,800 at 181. That's insane. He broke a 40-year-old record. 40 years. That blows my mind. That it's taken somebody, or it's taken anybody in the sport, in powerlifting, 40 years to break that one record. And you want to know why it is? Because the person who said it trained their ass off, as well as many others who are world raw record holders. A lot of those guys still hold those records. A lot of those records are older than me. There's Don Reinhardt's record that's literally sitting there toying with me, 2394. I know exactly the number. And it was set on 1980, the year I was born. So it is 33 years old. There's, like I said, there's a lot of records like that. And it blows my mind. Like, where in the world has training gone to? Why has it gotten away from what these guys were doing? Now, granted, I've tried a lot of these guys' methods. Roger Estep's squat training, Doug Young's training method. Doug Young stuff still works. I'm just blown by. I mean, I guess I'm kind of shocked. I went to APA Raw Nationals. Didn't think that me having done 725 for 3 in the gym would mean anything, but pulled a 771, which was an all-time PR for me on the deadlift. Well, that shows proof there that his training methods still work. The late Nick Winters sent me Bill Kazmaier's deadlift or bench routine. Now, you can't necessarily know for sure if this is actually his stuff, but there was very few movements where the reps were below 10 reps. I mean, look at the Russians. Look at how those guys are all lifting machines, and they're all built like it. It blows my mind. To me, we've gotten away from the concept of hard work, okay? Just because you go in there, you hit a bench, you hit a squat, you hit a deadlift, you push around with a few movements and you're done. That's not how they did it back in the 70s and 80s. These guys busted their ass the entire workout. John Grove out of North Georgia Barbell told me all these stories about how he would have a heavy deadlift session and the rest of it was just all back work. I mean, the man's like 5'8", 3+, and has got one of the widest backs I've ever seen. Look it up. And I'm not saying in reference to powerlifting, I'm saying in reference to bodybuilding because, back then there was not a lot of supplements out there. It was simple. It was all boiled down to just hard work. You busting your ass 24/7. That's all it is, and that's what we have to go back to because those guys will outwork us right now, literally. I mean, with all the gear, the supplements, and all that stuff, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous because they would still outwork us, literally. Okay, would Bill Kazmaier in his prime outwork a lot of these raw powerlifters? Yes, he would. It's just that simple. I mean, he outworked his competition in World's Strongest Man several times. So, take anything from this. When you look at a routine or a program, think about it. Are you really working hard? Or are you really doing hard work? That's what you got to look at. Okay? That's what those guys did. If you look at any of those training methods back then, they still work now. Okay? Problem is, we have to grow a pair and try it. And that's just real talk. Okay? Alright. Bust this one out in 5 minutes. Hit me up.